There can be few more inspiring sights in a garden than a pond full of lotus in full flower. Sacred lotus are sometimes referred to as the most beautiful flower in the world, and it's hard to argue at this time of the year. These enormous flowers emerge from underground rhizomes that are well below the surface of the water, so they can grow anywhere between 40 centimetres below the surface of the water up to about 2.5 metres. They've inspired two of the world's religions, both Buddhism and Hinduism, and you'll often see the Buddha represented sitting on a lotus flower. They're also the national flower of Vietnam and also Sri Lanka. Lotus flowers can regulate their temperature. We call this thermoregulation. The temperature helps attract pollinators who visit the centre of the flower. The flower closes during the afternoon, and at night the pollinators are trapped inside, getting covered in pollen. They emerge in the morning. If they visit another flower, pollination takes place. All parts of the plant are also edible. So the underground rhizomes are harvested from the mud and used as a vegetable in China and other parts of Southeast Asia. After the plant finishes flowering, it forms these beautiful seed heads, which are ornamental in their own right, and dried seed heads are often used in floristry. The seeds inside those seed heads are dried and used particularly in China, where they form the basis of mooncake. The flowers and leaves are made into a tea in South Korea and also in China. After flowering, those beautiful seed heads start to form, and as they mature, they actually bend. So they start off facing upwards, and as the seeds mature, those seed heads bend right over, allowing the seeds to drop into the mud. Those seeds can remain viable for hundreds of years, so they're a symbol of longevity in China as well. They germinate from the mud to create new plants. Here in Sydney, with the cool winter temperatures, the whole plant dies down, and at that time of the year, it's hard to imagine the transformation of this particular pond. A characteristic of these beautiful round leaves is that they're self-cleaning. So it's something called the lotus effect. And what happens is there are small trichomes emerging from the epidermis of the leaf, like small hairs. And they create a lower surface tension than the surface tension of a bead of water. So the water moves across the leaf like mercury. But as it does, the surface tension of the water droplet attracts the dirt from the leaves, which ends up in the water droplet. So this has been replicated using nanotechnology to create self-cleaning paints and other surfaces. Now, lotuses might look a lot like water lilies. They have larger leaves, and the leaves are held well above the water. They're not actually that closely related to water lilies. It turns out modern DNA analysis has shown us that their closest relatives are counterintuitively the genus Platanus, so characterized by enormous plane trees. And as if predicting that discovery, just over here growing in the wall of our lotus pond, we have a self-sown plane tree or Platanus seedling. They're in the larger order Proteales, so they're actually more closely related to a lot of the Proteaceae, like Banksias and Grevilleas, than they are to water lilies. But their similarity to water lilies shows two plants that have evolved similar evolutionary strategies to deal with the same kind of conditions.